Greetings and welcome to Board Me Up, where I usually do videos on daily board game releases and what those are, so you don't have to go out and search for yourself, and I try to save you the time on that. But yesterday I was curious about what the top 10 worst rated board games are on Boardgamegeek. And so today I'm reflecting on that. If you go to the Boardgamegeek board game list, you will see this listing. And of course, Gloomhaven is on top usually because it's following the Geek rating. You can also do average rating, which are often can be more easily modified by companies paying off people to rate for their games and stuff like that. That's why Boardgamegeek also made their own rating system. And if you turn it down like this, you will see it from the top. So the top rated one, so they use a certain algorithm that uses dummy votes as well to make a more balanced vote, and not every game has a Geek rating. So I was looking for the 10 worst, and I went the long route because I simply didn't know which one it was. If I knew, then there's a quicker way to find it. So I was going through pages and pages of games. So over 20,000 games. And I found that on page 270, so ascending or descending from best, on page 270, and if you don't know how to get to this page quicker, it was also noted in the forums, so thank you for that, that you can go to the page right at the top of the screen where you see the URL. You will see the page number there, and you can alter the page number and skip to it quicker there. So anyway, as we head down here, you see these games, and then they end here on page 270. So the rest of the, at current filming of this video, we are at 1,221 total pages of board games. That's a lot of games. This one's at 270, and that's where they end for rating. So not many games have a Geek official rating here. Let's head down here. Let's see where that rating actually ends. So it ends here, and that's where we'll find it. So the average rating will go on. That goes on for miles, for thousands and thousands of games. But anyway, that's not a bad number, having a Geek rating over at over 20,000 games. All right, so here we go. The top 10 worst games. I believe the worst one, the 10th one, is Operation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, Operation. So I never played that game. It always looked kind of fun. And but apparently there's maybe not much purpose or not much challenge to playing the game. So 1965, holy moly, didn't realize it was that old. Let's take a look at that real quick because I wanted to show you another thing. So let's take off this list of the top. When you go to each game rating, you can also click on their overall rating here. Say it's number 19,771. You can click on that, and it has a 4.1 rating. We don't get quite down to a 1 rating. When you click on that, it takes you to the page of its rank. So it's right here, and it shows you. So that's another quick way to get to the worst games out there in a quick way if you know some of the worst games and what they are. So you just click on that link, and it'll take you to the list. So going back here, we have Operation at number 10. At number 9, we have LCR, which I don't know what that is. Looks like a letter, avoid letters, roll dots, and try to be the best player remaining. Very simple looking. It's got like a 1.05 difficulty rating. Speaking of which, I wonder what the other game had. So LCR is number 2. Let me check on Operation real quick. That difficulty rating was at 1.11, so a little bit higher. Okay. At number 3, we have Monopoly, the original Monopoly. So 1933. Let's take a look at its difficulty real quick. 1.65, a little bit more difficult. All right. Actually, I haven't played Monopoly in a while. I thought maybe it'd be a little... No, that makes sense, huh? You do just move around and kind of buy stuff. All right, so 4.4. Let's go to the next one. And at number 4, we have Trouble. Let's take a look at that real quick. There's Trouble with a 1 rating for difficulty, 2 to 4 players. Trouble at number 5, we have The Game of Life. And I had somebody talking in the post, or somewhere, I was reading, I think under the forum where I posted this on BGG. And there you go, 1.1. Pretty simple game. And so they're all obviously going to be simple. But they were saying that life isn't so bad, or it deserves a reiteration. So what do you think about that? Let me know. Now, the next one is War, which I'm not aware of, I think. And that's number 6, right? Which way am I counting? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We'll call it number 5. We're counting downwards now. So War at number 5, and it's, wow, a 1.0 rating. Holy moly, okay. You can't get any lower than that. Let me take a quick look at that. Okay, Scooby-Doo. What's Scooby-Doo doing here? Again, I don't know anything about this game. Let me know your feels about it. It's a 2-player game. Next, at number 2, 3, 4, at number 4 of the worst top game is Bingo. And you can imagine, that's completely luck-based. And yeah, not much to it. So there you go, 1.05. Ooh, it's got a little bit of difficulty right there compared to that last one. Why did that highlight? That was weird. Okay. All right, and at number 3, we have Candyland, 1949. Look at Bingo. And the Bingo is from 1530. This is interesting. So Candyland, a little bit, it's a little bit more advanced than Bingo, just a little bit more advanced. And it's 1949 Candyland. Had no idea it dated that late. And not a game I know much about, so let's go to the next one. Chutes and Ladders. Before becoming Snakes and Ladders. We have Chutes and Ladders. It's the oldest game on today's list, and just quite an old game from the year 200. So that's pretty wild. Just a little bit of difficult, not much. So it's comparable to the War one. And Chutes and Ladders, I guess it's a fun move around game where you can jump through in places. It's completely luck based, more or less, or completely, I think. So there you go. I haven't played that in a little bit too. But then at number 1, we have Tic-Tac-Toe. And that's a debatable one from 1300. I would have figured that this could be even older. Why is Chutes and Ladders older than Tic-Tac-Toe? That doesn't make sense to me. I'd figure Tic-Tac-Toe would be hard to date anyway, so not sure how clear that is. So Tic-Tac-Toe with a 1.16, it's actually a little bit more advanced than most of the other ones on the list, if not all of them. So Tic-Tac-Toe, dating the 1300, 2.7 is the lowest rating on BGG, according to the algorithm. So take it how you will. One person made quite a post in a couple places about how they don't consider this to be the worst, and convincing other people of it. Again, this is, an algorithm type of rating. But what I would like to say is that I can't see Tic-Tac-Toe being the worst, because if you're barely conscious, you can still lose in it. Whereas something like Chutes and Ladder, if you're barely conscious, I think you roll the dice to move, right? You're still going to roll a number, and it's still going to move you somewhere, and you don't have to really worry about anything. In Tic-Tac-Toe, you still have to worry. If you're completely drunk or barely conscious, you can actually still make a mistake. Even an adult, it could be laughable, but that's the reality of it. And because of that, and how the challenge is still there, and you're going against an opponent, I would consider this not to be the lowest. Also, it can introduce to young players and young people and children a lot of theories, or gaming theory, or I forgot the word I'm searching for, but just not constructive, what is the word? I forgot. But it can introduce the theory of gaming and challenge and thinking ahead and planning. It is very basic, obviously, compared to something like chess and most other games, but it is a great introduction. And what I was thinking initially when I was looking at it is you can expand with tic-tac-toe so much. You can put down tic-tac-toe as your base game, but then every spot you're in, you can have that refer to cards. So you can really even expand on this game and expand it or make expansions for it, pretty easily. For something like Chutes and Ladders, you could too, but then I wouldn't say Chutes and Ladders is pointless, but there are worse games where games kind of geared toward children, sometimes they're released, the little simple board games with a toy or something, and they're almost pointless. They're those move around games where you roll a dice and you move in squares and you read something, but there isn't much point to it. At least tic-tac-toe, you have a challenge, right? In Chutes and Ladders, you're racing against one another. But I would challenge people out there to find, because I do believe they're out there, they're just really, really unknown games that, again, just release with some toy line and just, for 8 or 7, 6-year-old children. And they have really no point to them. Maybe a little point of looking up lore or having a little giggle, but other than that, there's like not much of a challenge. And yeah, if you could find those, we should give those games some ratings and get those below tic-tac-toe, because, well, I don't think it's really the worst game out there. It obviously isn't, as there are thousands, maybe 70, 80,000 games that haven't been rated, since we're only on, I say only, but only on 20,000 here on this list, because we have over, let's see, we're on page 270 here, and we have about 700 pages or something like that have gone unrated, where the games have been unrated. So anyway, just wanted to make this quick video and see what you guys thought about it. I found it rather interesting, so if you did, let me know down below. And I'll be going back to doing more daily videos, go back to tomorrow, since the weekends are slow, and seeing what released on Kickstarter and what is ending soon, so you don't miss out on anything. If you'd like to see that, be sure to subscribe. And again, if you dare embark on the challenge of finding a truly, something that's probably not already rated, but a completely pointless game and very simple to play that you would rate lower than tic-tac-toe. So until next time, I still have no tagline for this channel, but whatever. Let's just go with stay boarded.